Şimdi de konuşmasını yapmak için Ankara Hiltonsa Otel Genel Müdürü Marc Schumacher'i davet ediyoruz. Marc Schumacher de bize Hilton bünyesinde bu pandemiyle ilgili alınan önlemleri ve gelecek için Hilton otellerinin önerilerini ve öngörülerini aktaracak. Marc Schumacher.
Very much. So first of all, I feel very honored to be on this tourism forum today, and I'm very, very happy that that you have me to provide a little bit of information in regards to hospitality and the new norm. And I would like to emphasize today specifically on skill. Now, before I start, I also would like to spread a little bit of optimism, because major consultancy agencies have done a research and a study, and worldwide, by the end of July, the hotel occupancy was in general on 24%. Now, this has changed until end of October to 37%. So this is a very good improvement of 13% in terms of occupancy, and you see that the slight recovery is actually coming. On another study and research, the consultancy firms have asked thousands of businesses worldwide, how do they actually see in terms of events and conferencing and meetings coming up? In terms of, well, how likely is it that they have virtual meetings next year instead of live events? Now, stunningly, 41% of the responses were actually pro-hybrid meetings and pro-virtual meetings versus the live events. 54% had no plans or they don't know yet. So this is also a fantastic increase versus July, when actually below 20% were actually for virtual meetings and hybrid meetings. So this to start with. Now, going to my first slide here, which you look at. What has actually been done in the transformation of hospitality when it comes to the digital environment, and what is happening in the road of recovery, and what has actually happened as we speak. So I put the major 5 on the slide just to give you a little bit of an idea what is happening in our world. Implementation of digital innovations in hospitality industry actually kicked in right from the start, from March and April, when the restrictions kicked in and when actually business literally went down to more or less zero within 72 hours. So we worked tremendously globally as international hotel companies as well on contactless technology and artificial intelligence. Now you can see today, if you go into a guest room of ours, we have no collateral anywhere in the guest rooms. We have no collateral anymore in meeting rooms. We're not providing any collateral in terms of menus in our restaurants and bars. Everything has been done on QR codes and digitally. Interactive televisions have been installed where all the communication is actually going through these interactive televisions. We have digital check-in, we have digital checkout, we have digital keys where actually you open your room door in our days with a mobile phone. It's especially happening in my hotel. We have QR codes even when we send out offers, because it's paperless. Also on the other side, on the receiver side, they can show it directly when they're in travel, etc. They can see via QR code the whole offer instead of going even into their emails, etc. Now, everything when it comes to service, because we're in the service industry, is at fingertips. And fingertips means digital, the digital norm. Hybrid meetings are getting more and more of importance. Innovation of flexible working culture and skill sets. It has been a dramatic change since March, since the outbreak. We work anytime, anywhere, use any kind of device in hospitality industry. We focus nowadays on the output, not anymore on the input. We are customizing work wherever we can, day in and day out. We share more information about safety, security than ever before, especially when it comes to sanitization, when it comes to social distancing, and when it comes to worrying guests how we actually operate and how safe is it. We firmly rely nowadays on collaborative technologies. We always did that, but actually the pandemic has accelerated this, and it becomes more and more important to be as fast as we can on implementing those technologies. We are focusing on adaptive learning. That's one of the key elements, especially in hospitality industry when it comes to service. And I will reiterate on this a bit further down. Interactive IT infrastructure for better guest experience, for personalized service is absolutely vital, making safety operating processes faster and even more efficient. Everything at guest fingertip is mostly important. They can do everything literally by themselves because it's safe and because it gives them a very comfort environment for travel. We have terminal cameras, for example, at every entrance of the hotel where temperature gets taken of the guests. We have isolation rooms in the hotel where we actually host also infectious guests, and they're getting taken care of in regards to this. We serve as well at their fingertips. We do instant messaging. We do instant delivery. Everything literally is digitalization. And this is actually a fast-moving technology, and it's also very, very inspiring. And it's actually a great opportunity towards this. Obviously, speed is absolutely vital. To rely on competitiveness of your business, to make sure that you have the safety environment in your industry, in your hotels. We are reviewing operating cycles, making them faster, making them more flexible, making them more efficient. We have changed service sequences. We have assessed them, we have re-elevated them. We have changed operational procedures and policies to the new norm, and we adapted to it. We have made restructures in order to adapt to the new norm. So there's a massive improvement all over, and I can say, and I always said it to my team, in the last 8 months, we had so much innovation and so much changes in our industry we never had for 40 years. It is incredible. If you go to the next slide, please. Now, I just wanted to show you the human behavior, El Clásico. Now, why do I put this in? Because this is what we went all through. When we started in April, when the new norm kicked in and we were literally on virtual meetings, etc., we were saying, well, are you breaking up? Do you hear me? Like I did, well, can you share the presentation because I have technical issues? So this were actually the new norm. Now we adapted to it 8 months down, and we're accepting the way how we do new things and how actually the new world is ticking and the new norm is actually coming into effect. Tomorrow, we will not even remember how we did things pre-COVID because it seems so far away and because we have adapted so fast. And human beings have always been evolutors. And we always explored, we always discovered, we always were curious about things. And that is part of our DNA. And this actually leads us to the next slide, where I would like to show you that the World Economic Forum has launched recently the top 10 skills which are actually coming into effect or by 2025. So the 10 skills, you could just show me the next slide, please. So here you see the 10 top skills for the World Economic Forum. And I would like just to highlight the most important 5 as far as I'm concerned, which is analytical thinking and innovation, which is exactly what we are doing in the last 8 months and we continue to do. Active learning and learning strategies for our teams, for our students, for the young generation, and for the leaders of tomorrow. Complex problem solving. That is what we went through in the last 8 months, and we can continue to go through in the next 2, 3, or even 4 years. Creativity, originality, and initiative is absolutely vital, and I will explain this in the next slide when it's coming. Leadership and social influence is something which has always been of importance and will always be. Now, these skill sets are actually for leaders and teams alike and are for our talents tomorrow. Now, what you see here, future is all about this skill, especially in hospitality, especially in leadership in our industry. You can actually bring them into 3 major groups: problem solving, self-management, and working with people. Now, it might not sound something new to you, but there is something which I highlighted here in yellow, which are 3 skill sets or 3 skills which actually are extremely important within the pandemic, but also post-pandemic for the hospitality industry, which is creativity, motivation, and learning. If you go to the next slide, I will tell you why it is so important. Now, we are talking about a high-performance triangle here, we also call it the flow. Now, this is for teams in businesses, and especially in hospitality, where you work with a lot of teams, different diverse backgrounds, diverse education backgrounds, and absolutely vital. You have to promote as a leader, and as a business leader, you have to promote creativity. You need to make sure you inspire your team to be creative. Now, once they're coming up with an idea to you, you need to make sure you accept the idea. Even if you know already it has a moderate outcome, it does not matter. It is vastly important that actually you take this on board, motivate the team, and actually allowing them to develop this idea, and to launch and to implement. Now, this course is actually the learning curve for these teams, for the implementation process, and also to see how valuable is their idea in the business. And they will be very proud of this and say, well, we added value to the business. We were actually part of the innovation. We were part of the evolution in this business. And this literally driving a self-dynamic, which leads to even faster innovation, quicker innovation. You can then assess the outcome. You can award. You can recognize the efforts of the team. And this brings a massive dynamic, which then leads to complete competition advantage and to business success, but also to teams and personal success. And this is vital for our business. We always, in the recent years, we always looked at key performance indicators and started with this literally and saying, well, these are our goals, these are our targets. I personally think, and I applied this already in my hotel, well, this is maybe something of the past. What we need to do is, well, we can only achieve the key performance indicators in the future when we know how to do it. And how to do it is literally to introduce the flow with teams and making sure this actually comes into effect. It's self-dynamic, being innovative, and making sure we drastically evolve in our business. And that is the targets or the key performance indicators is the result of the flow, is the result of the input you get from your teams and the highly motivated teams. And this even will outperform your results. I'm truly convinced about this. Now, going to the next slide, looking bright into our future. Now, what has been done, I would like to just go quickly back into the past. And you see a couple of years here, which actually were crisis years. And I don't want to go straight to them because I'm sure you know them all. Now, what is the most important out of a crisis? We always came back as a nation, as a culture, as a world society. We always came out very strong and stronger than ever. We were always smarter than before. We were always better. We were always more prosperous. And it will be again the case after this pandemic. I am hugely optimistic and I'm looking forward into the future, and especially to our students on the call. I would like to reiterate to you that skill set and mastering of your skill set, which I've shown in the previous slides, is absolutely vital for you. Knowledge is important, but skill is really important for the future. Master it. And when you have leadership positions, etc., introduce the flow, making sure you have a dynamic in your team. And this brings you to success and business success. Now, I have put this into my personal formula, which I also shared with my team, to actually understand where we are and what is actually important moving forward and force the transformation even more successful. While future prosperity or business success is equivalent to continuous innovation, plus the flow improvement, which I just explained, multiplied by speed and actually divided by fast adaptation. That it was the new norm in a nutshell and in formula. And I'm provided this with my team, and we had a strategy meeting last week, and we did exactly that, and we implemented the flow. And I'm truly convinced that this is actually the key formula for key success in the future. We have a greatest opportunity now to transform the way we work, to transform the way we live, and to transform also the way we travel. This is something which is unstoppable. It comes automatically, and we've heard this from all the speakers before. And let's use the opportunity, and I'm particularly speak to the students which we have, use this opportunity and momentum and take it to bigger heights. Being more prosperous, being part of an exciting journey into the new world and into the new world of travel and life. Now, my last slide I have for you, I would like to end with a very famous quote of Richard Branson, which said once, if your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. And I think that is something which is extremely, extremely vital for now, that actually we keep our optimism, we keep actually looking, and we actually seeing the opportunity we have in the industry and worldwide. And rest assured, once the pandemic is under control and we have all the vaccinations in place, there will be a massive comeback in travel. Everybody would like to travel. Everybody would like to be part of the experiences of the travel. And therefore, we need to be ready. Hospitality specifically needs to be ready for this flow. I'm looking forward to this. And you as students, you have the greatest opportunity to join us in this and go through this together. Now, keeping up the confidence is absolutely vital for you. Inspire others to make sure you take them with you to that journey. To make sure you delegate and you empower your teams to make sure that they follow you, but not only they follow you, but also they give input and add value to the business. Creativity and innovation is something which is absolutely vital, as I said. Keep the flow moving, show empathy to the team, and most importantly, treat everyone equally and be diverse. And this, I would like to close my presentation to you. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you much for your technical support. I highly appreciate it. And I just wanted to end on this. We have a bright future ahead of us, and we should not, we should not really underestimate the opportunities we have ahead. We will get stronger out of this, smarter, and much, much brighter and better. Thank you very much. Back to you.